Alright boys, here we go. So, we have just finished the non-spoiler review, according to myself, about this map. And we are going to dive straight into a deep review of this map. And there's quite a bit to talk about. Yeah, first things first, as I said in the other review, every color is available, so you can play as anybody. All the 7 base factions of the game are indeed available. It's a normal difficulty map, and yeah, that's about it. There's no cove, no factory, because this is an old map. Don't be fooled by that though, it is pretty awesome. Okay, let's jump into it. I have played as Rampart. I'm going to kind of jump into Stronghold, just have like a bit of a fresh look about it. We will talk about All Stars a little bit, and yeah, let's just see what we have. Okay, so let's go for the cheats, because we are we're that kind of guy, right? Okay, let's see. So what I want to talk about first, so the start differences. Now why am I in a Stronghold? Yeah, so you can see that every single faction is kind of on the side. Alright, also we got pink over here, and there's only one faction that's in the middle, right? So that's gonna mean something. Why does that mean anything? Well, first of all, Stronghold got roads. Okay, it's not really his roads, okay, but there's only one road in this entire map, and it's called the Old Dragon Road. Okay, and I think that is because it connects kind of the dragons, right? It's the fairy dragons here, there are the Azures here, there might be some other dragons around the map, I am not sure, but that's kind of the point. Alright, the point about this map. There's also this kind of dragon scale armor, the dragon set. It's a little bit scattered around the map, like, yeah, you've got that, so I think that's something to do with it. But the idea is there's only one road, and US Stronghold are right in the middle of this thing. I didn't really talk about it being a special start, because I didn't really want you guys to really necessarily go into it. It's not that cool, right? You're just in the middle. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's nothing awesome about the Stronghold start, at least not for me. Okay, what else we want to talk about? Let's grab each one, right? So, red player. What do you have? You have a decently rich starting area. All of them kind of go about the same token. So you have a little swamp around you. You will have access to your one little town, which for you is gonna be this one, and a library, right? I'm not sure which one. Yeah, this is gonna be the library. It seems like every start kind of wants you to have what you need, right? So you have quite a bit to start with. You have your stables, so if you want to go for some kind of a champion play, you can do that. For those of you that don't know, if you're grabbing yourself the Cavaliers, you can pretty much not need the upgraded building, because you can grab your Cavaliers, take them to the stables, and boom boom boom, you have champions, right? So you can go for that kind of play. It kind of even wants you to go. You have the training grounds. Another thing I kind of want to talk about is that all factions have access to their 6th and their 4th barracks, the racks, and we have the training grounds. So all factions have access to their 4th and their 6th. So we have something kind of similar between all places. Maybe just Stronghold, he might not have that. No, they do as well. They've got the Cyclops and they've got the older 4th, yeah. So they do kind of follow the same recipe, right? You get some artifacts, you get a library, you get a town, you get a swamp, you get some sand. So everybody's kind of following a bit of the same recipe, but because the map is so large and so random, it doesn't really feel like it, yeah? Everybody kind of will have access to the road at some point. So for red is going to be through the sands. Everybody's gonna have the same thing, I believe. I think so. And because of that, everybody's going to be kind of focus towards the middle. Maybe Inferno not, maybe not as a rule, but more often than not, I think that will be the case. Okay, oh, it seems like Fortress got roads as well. So that is a little bit interesting, yeah. Okay, let's take blue, which is the one I played. Absolutely enjoyed this playthrough. Another kind of common thing, not as a rule again, but kind of common, is that each start kind of has those I'm not sure how to call them, those treasury kind of places, dwarven treasuries. You have your imps, imp cache for Inferno. I believe you've got your dragonfly hives for Fortress. Because of this kind of, the Fortress player can kind of have a really good wyvern game if that's what you want to go for. Because I know I like to do this kind of play. You got what, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 wyvern nests. All right, so plus you've got the wyvern nest itself. Therefore, you will have loads of wyverns if you want to do that. We'll talk about more when we get to him. So blue has those dwarven treasuries, okay, which have come in really handy, right? I have managed to use those and get myself quite a little bit further ahead than I maybe should have been. You got the stables, you have everything you want, you got loads of stats. Same about the red player, loads of stats. We're not gonna talk about that too much. The map is just rich in general. Everybody's got their library. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Same idea. You got sands, you got your swamp, and you've got your little castle. Okay. Ooh, next player we have 10 over here. Similar idea. I'm not sure which is his little town that he's going to have access to. I'm thinking it's Conflux. Yeah, you will be able to go to Conflux at some point. It seems like it is a little bit more further away, but that's the one that's his. Does he have access to this? I am not sure. We'll talk about this area as well. Yeah, 10 seems to be kind of the same idea. Nothing too crazy going on here. As you can see, we have everything we want. 4th level units, 6th level units. So we're kind of following a rule over here. Next player we're gonna talk about is purple. Yeah, nothing much to add about Inferno from what I have noticed. You've got your library, you've got your little town. For some it might be a little more accessible, for some it might be less accessible. For example, I think Necro, he might have to go a little bit longer way, right? Because he's got to go this way, traverse the swamps, then come here and then all the way back, and then he's finding his castle. Whereas, for example, with Rampart, which is the one I played, you get to find it rather quickly. Yeah, Tower seems like he's got it worse off. It's gonna be a little bit of a hustle to get all the way to your town, or maybe it's this one he wants to grab. This one seems to be a bit closer, but not really, because I think this is strongholds. So yeah, Conflux is for you. Why am I saying? We'll get to that actually a bit later. Who else we gotta talk about? We've got the Necro guy. Yeah. Anything specific about him? Nothing crazy. One kind of cool thing is that you got loads of peasants here, which you could farm. You got loads of sprites here, which you will be able to farm at some point as well, because you will be able to join this road. Yeah, this road is called the Old Dragon Road, and it's surrounding the middle, and it is a bit of an important road, right? Because it connects the gates as well. So it's not just the dragons; it has gate connections. I'm pretty sure those are the two. It might be another one somewhere here, but it might not. Probably it's not. What else we have going on for us? We've talked about you. Let's go with orange. Yeah, He's a bit special. He's in the middle of the map, so he will find the road very quickly. He's gonna realize he can't go in because there's crystal dragons here, which is a bit of a tough thing to deal with if you wanna grab the subterranean gate quickly, which is important to note, right? Yeah, plenty of things going on. We've got the minotaurs, which are like 100 here, which I almost bit, but I did not. I was careful, so you might wanna be careful too. Oof, 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 oof. Yes. One thing to note is there's this red border guard, which seems to be important. Yeah. Stronghold will be finding it kind of quickly, so that's a small hint that you will get quite in the beginning. This is a big deal, let's say. Next player we'll be talking about is Pink. Now, Pink is in the underground, but he's got no connection to the outside world, which is pretty cool and pretty packed. So this is his area. He's going to conquer all this, and I believe this is the most special start, and we will talk about that. Why is it a special start? Well, first of all, you are kind of by yourself here, which is kind of cool. You have everything you want, just like everybody else. Next thing you have going for you is that you will be going on this gate, which is going to spawn you up here, right? You've got access to this artifact, which is going to be easy to take. Then you're gonna go to this portal. This portal will spawn you in here, which gives you another 3 portals to go through. Okay, why is this a big deal? Well, first of all, you will grab a tower. So the tower is usually a nice secondary town to have, but for this map is especially important because you get the Mage Guild at 5, which with the libraries got 2 level 5 spells and 3 level 4, if I remember correctly, which is big, right? Because you had dungeon as well, you have your own level 5 Mage Guild, which means that if you get here, you will see this, because you're gonna come through, I believe it's, yes, this one. You will grab your tower, and then you have all this area, okay? And you will go through all that, and then boom, you see we want the green border guard, which you don't know exactly where it is, but you see this red tent, alright, and you see it's rather well guarded, and you're gonna want access to that, basically. That's why dungeon here comes into play very nicely, because you kinda can skip this, okay? The green border guard is here, so it's very far away, right? You got a tent here, and you've got a tent here, right? That seems like a lot of hassle to go through. But if you manage to get fly or dimension door, which remember you do have 3 chances for, because of this tower castle here and because of your own, you have 3 chances to get fly or dimension door, which is going to shorten your game a lot. You will get access to this quite quickly. Another reason why Pink is special, you have so many buildings here to power up, right? You will grab all this area, so area, boom, 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 you get all that, you get all these. After that, you will be able to come here, right? This is another area which is just yours, and unlike the other players, you get access to a utopia rather quickly. Also, this utopia will not really be contested, because the fortress player looks like he could kind of get close, but he can't. He actually can't come in here. This is blocked, and also he's got just a level 3 Mage Guild, right? So he will never be able to kind of jump over, right? There's no chance for him to do that. So you get kind of your own utopia, which is not guarded, okay? You could argue that there are other utopias on the map, okay? But one of them is this one, which is you that's gonna see it. Same idea, right? Because you've got the portal here, which is guarded, but nothing crazy. And you will see the utopia as well, so you're gonna have access to a second utopia pretty quickly. And for example, there's another utopia here, but there's a problem with it again, because yeah, this utopia is guarded by those titans, and it's the same kind of going with this one. And it is a little bit annoying when you want to go for the Utopia. You're not gonna get here like that early, okay, because you're already here and you're gonna come all the way here. You might want this area, then you're coming around here. You might follow the road a little bit. You're kind of fighting already the orange player because he's around this area. The tan player is around this area as well. So I myself didn't get to this area for quite a bit, and it's not annoying, but it's a bit more difficult to fight titans and then fight dragons, right? Because you need kind of two different armies usually to fight both. So you don't want to kind of go into the titans, lose a bunch of your army, and then hit the Utopia, right? You'd much rather have something like this, where you get to fight some golems, you get to fight some magis, and there's your Utopia. Okay, so I think pink is by far the best and the most interesting start. Okay, also if you get access to those dimension doors or flies, which you will get earlier because you have these, it's a good chance for you to grab that. You're gonna have access to quite a bit, and if you grab this Utopia, this one here, there's not that much separating you from grabbing this one soon enough if you have some dimension door or fly. At the same time, you're probably going to be the only one that can get this Utopia, right? Because, well, Inferno might actually grab it as well, but he's got, as I said, 1 chance out of 3. You've got 3 chances out of 3 to grab the fly or dimension door. Same with the castle, he's not gonna have that. Stronghold, no way, he's probably not even gonna wanna come here. And we have our 10 player who's here, who's got 2 chances for his thing as well, maybe 3 with this one here. But yeah, nothing too crazy going on. He doesn't really have access to any Utopias. It's not that incredible. I think pink is the most interesting start for you. Okay, what else we want to talk about? Yeah, every area. So you're gonna note, if you're here, you can't just cross this area. This is a separation, so you can't go from here to here. You also can't go from this side to this side, right? You have to go through the middle, through the road. You can't go from this side to this side. So that's happening pretty much everywhere. The map is not that accessible, so fly, dimension door, pathfinding, logistics, this kind of stuff, you just kind of moving around and being good with your hero is going to count a lot. Alright, it's not that accessible. Yeah. What else I kind of want to talk about? Even though it's not accessible, it is rather rich. So we've got maybe, I don't even know, like 20 libraries throughout the map. So in my playthrough I've had like 40 plus stats on 3 heroes, I believe, more or less. I have pretty much had all the components of the dragon set, and also the, I'm forgetting now how you call it, but the set that kind of gives you prayer at the beginning of the turn. I think maybe I was missing 1 item or something like that, but I'm pretty sure I've had everything for that as well. Didn't really need to kind of combine it into it because the game was kind of already finished for me, but you get the idea. If you're in a pinch a little bit, or you feel like you kind of need that is possible to get in this map. So that's a pretty rich map. Also, why is it so rich? Well, we have in the underground, if somebody gets in the underground, we've got all those little like patches, right, full of riches, okay, full of artifacts. We've got down there, and then we've got this one here. There's a town there, there's this area here. So this is why I said the red border gate is important, because it's gonna give you 1, 2, 3, 4 tier 4 artifacts, right? This is huge, right? Just these, this is already huge. It gives you the cartographer, which is the entire map, and it also gives you the frozen cliffs, the crystal cave, and the magic forest, and the sulfurous layer. So that's one thing, okay? Plenty artifacts going around, plenty resources going around. What else we could talk about? Yeah, a big one, which is was very funny for me to find out. Also, you have this area here that's huge. Another crazy thing that I want to talk about is that for me nobody got access to this area, and not even myself. But to my surprise, after finishing the map and going into the editor, I've just seen that there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 towns hidden in this area, plus a bunch of other things, right? It is a little bit mazy, so you're not gonna find it very well. But the idea is, I never got to summon the boat here because there's plenty things to do, right? I did find out this area. I think I did find out about this area. I don't remember exactly how. As you can see, there's plenty of artifacts going on. But yeah, there are 9 hidden towns over here, which is a lot, brother, okay? It's a lot. So if you're kind of going for an underworld play, remember that. I don't think they're all, yeah, they're not really guarded. So just one kind of strong hero can grab everything, and you have those as well. So incredible stuff. It was crazy to me to find out that there were 9 hidden towns that not me nor my opponents have found. The reason the AI didn't found it is because it was because I was kind of guarding the gate. I knew, I quickly kind of realized there's a lot going on in the underworld, so I didn't really want to let anybody get here. So basically that's kind of why my opponents didn't get to have these castles, and I didn't need to have them either to get the win. So I didn't even know about them, because you get here and you don't see anything. So that was really cool. What else I want to talk about? Yeah, a few strategies to go for. I'll recommend something quick for each one, I suppose. Yeah, castle, playing castle. Let's talk about the castle a little bit. So I think from like a first quick look around it, it seems like going for the champions is what it is intended. Doesn't seem like you've got a lot of wood going on though, so I'm not sure if you actually could do that. You've got your lumber mill, but there's not much other wood going on here. So yeah, take from that whatever you may. It felt like I had a lot more going on in my rampart build. Now that I look at it, seems like a rampart was a decently easy start. It seems like red is not that easy, because you can't actually, if you're playing on 200%, you might not actually get the training grounds week 1. I don't see how you will be able to get like 30, 40 wood for it. I just don't see it. So keep that in mind if you want to play red. It's, from a first look, I think you kind of have not the best start. Alright. Yeah, you might just want to kind of grab some archers, and maybe just second week focus on the training grounds, and maybe third week you might get the pog. This is kind of blocking your way in this area, and yeah, seems like this is kind of easy to take for now. So yeah, keep in mind, please keep that in mind. I think red is probably not the strongest start, which is totally fine. I'm sure you can make it work if you're a good player, absolutely. Let's talk about blue. Okay, blue. Now, blue has been a very good start for me. 1, elves are strong, right? Everybody knows that. With the elves, you can take those treasuries, you can take the crypt. There's another crypt here. That's plenty resources, plenty stats, and okay, a big one. You have 1, 2 mystical gardens. Is it just these 2? I think it's just these 2. You have 1, 2 mills, no, 3 windmills, and you have the water wheel. So that's there's 4 windmills. So that's basically 6 or 7 buildings for resources. So you will not be missing resources if you play Rampart, right? You're not going to miss that. You're gonna have plenty resources. I think Rampart is a very strong start for this map. Maybe I don't think it's as cool as Pink's, but I think it's definitely a good one. I think it's a good one. It might be, you don't even know, it might be a little stronger, but it's, I think the Pink is the coolest start. We'll talk about him a bit more. You got the Glade, you can get the Glade, I got the Glade, I don't think it's that difficult to get the Glade, okay? Basically, if you want to go into the swamps, if you're lucky like me and get a hero for the swamps, there's plenty things to go around here. And yeah, a big thing to note, there's the trading post. And the trading post, basically, because you have so many resources going on, will be able to kind of, how would you call it, kind of help you out whenever you have like a little bit of a deficiency on some lane. So that's it about Rampart. Yeah, you gonna have access to these because you're gonna come out this way, and then you're like, oh, I got a road. You're gonna take the stats here, and I think very quickly you are gonna see these sharpshooters. Sorry about that. And I think you will be pretty much kind of lured into it, right? Because you're playing Rampart, you're likely going to play some archery-based hero, either Kair, either Ivor. You probably gonna have archery, so you'll be like, hey, I already have wood elves, why not grab myself some sharps, right? So you're gonna already find yourself in this situation. You'll be finding your boy Orange, and you're gonna wanna fight him and kill him as soon as possible. You're also seeing this, which is pretty cool, and you have this down here. Yeah, everything is kind of cool. So I think you'll probably be going towards that direction. This one is a good one to go as well for, but it's a bit more further away. I don't think you'll be going in this side. But yeah, you will be meeting, basically you, orange and green, will kind of meet each other here. Probably at the same time. I'm not sure, difficult to say, because the AI does crazy things. But you're probably gonna meet each other here, right? So also Tan, it seemed like Tan kind of wanted to come in this direction as well. Next up, who do we have? Tan, okay. How's Tan looking? Well, Tan is tower, and as I said, for this map, tower players kind of have a little bit of a edge, according to myself, because it's so kind of inaccessible. Dimension Door and Fly are going to be huge on this map. Down Portal as well, right? So I think tower is a pretty decent start. Having a first quick look at it, it's not very special, so I think you will just be able to kind of roll with it and see what you get out of it, right? Yeah, tower, I think it's an average, maybe a little bit above average because of the mage guild. Next up we'll be talking about purple. We got Inferno here, same thing, nothing crazy, nothing special. Oh, let me recommend something. So yeah, blue, you will probably want to play around the unicorns and the elves. The elves will help you clean the dwarves, and the unicorns will help you do anything else. Yeah, talk about purple now. Kind of same idea goes with purple. You got the Ifrits, right? I'd probably go for the Ifrits. If you ask me, I think the Ifrits are awesome. Maybe the best tier 6. And having the Ifrits will help you clean the imps extremely easily. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a bunch of gold, right? A bunch of gold. You can grab all that. Other than that, so yeah, I think a strategy kind of around fighting around those imp caches could work out. Maybe go for the Cerberus girl, and you will probably be able to easily kind of clear imps, because imps are very squishy and also they're melee, so they won't be able to kind of threaten your Cerberus, maybe 1 or 2 stacks at a time. So the Cerberus will have an easy time grabbing those imps. And once you got that, you have a free way towards your Fire Lake, and you will grab this fire lake, and I think you'll have a good game. I actually kind of like Inferno for this map for this reason. Okay, what do we have next? We have the Necropolis. Now, what can I say? It's an extra large map. There's loads of creatures going around. Obviously, Necropolis is going to be very strong. Necropolis is always strong on this kind of map, so I'm not the best Necro player myself, so I don't really want to recommend too much. My opponent, I remember when I fought this guy, he had like 50 Dread Knights. He didn't have many skeletons because the AI doesn't really know how to farm those. But it was a force to be reckoned with, okay? Those 50 Dread Knights, they're just tough, man. They're tough. Like, if you manage to stack those up, they're just strong. They're just so strong. Nothing really else to say. I think probably going for... Let's think about it a little bit, right? We don't have too many stat buildings going on. I myself would probably go for Tent. I think Tent would be pretty good. Just kind of an easy start, kind of like an equalizer. You just want to be kind of surviving the early game for this map with Necro, and you'll do swell in the late game, right? Even if you don't grab much of the map, simply the way this map is built, having like, see, it's like a lot of things you can grab as skeletons, so that's going to be easy for you to have a win with Necro on this map. Cold Soul, that's pretty cool. Next up we got Orange. I don't really like Orange much. I've thought about it a little bit. I don't know. Is it maybe just the area doesn't look as good, or I'm not sure what's up. But I don't think Orange is very awesome. It is a bit special because he's in the middle. That's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing, right? I don't know. I don't think it's an amazing thing. All I know is that blue is coming this way, green is coming this way, and tan is coming this way as well. So because of that, I'm not so into Stronghold, because everybody's going to kind of follow the road, and if you follow the road, you'll see Orange, right? You're not gonna see blue. You're gonna see Fortress, but he's kind of the end of the road, right? So you're not going to end up in Fortress if you're following the road. You're probably gonna end up here. That's kind of what I think. It's also a lot closer to basically this middle area. Fortress is a lot further away. You're gonna come here and be like, oh, gold mine, oh, gold mine, oh, Utopia, oh, we got a stables. Then you're going all the way here, and at some point you'll be like, oh, there's swamps. Damn, there's swamps here. I don't like going into swamps, so you're probably not gonna grab this observatory. Who knows? And only after a long way on the road you're gonna find actually no, it's not even, you have to go off the road and then find Fortress. So yeah, I think Orange is probably the riskiest one to play. I guess if you like the barbarians and if you're good under pressure, you can go for it. Okay, let's talk green. Green is slightly special as well, it seems, because he's got this tiny road here. But yeah, the road is blocked. So this road is not actually very useful. Maybe just kind of to give you a hint that the road exists, but there's nothing really else about this road. This is your area. You have a little town hidden here, which was pretty funny. It took me a while to find this town. It can be a strong start. Obviously, I'm going to recommend you go for these wyverns. How would you go about that? Let's think about it. How would I go about conquering those? I mean, gnolls are always a good go-to, right? Gnolls and just have some wyverns. I guess you can probably grab those rather quickly. Also, the building itself is not that strong, not that expensive, so you can probably have your own wyverns kind of quickly. You see this one very early. You've got your chests here, so you got some levels. If you clear one of them, basically, all the other ones will be much easier to grab. So it's going to be a snowballing effect. Absolutely go for wyverns. Seems like with the wyvern play, green will have a top 3 start. I'm thinking right now, I'm thinking maybe pink will be strongest start. I'm thinking maybe fortress could be the second strongest start, and then we will have maybe blue in third, something like that. Okay. And last but not least, we have pink, which we've talked about already quite a little bit. You've got your area, you've got access to your tower, and you've got those 4 portals, which are going to make your play very, very interesting. Okay, opening up here, yeah, you will have a very interesting play. Also, it seems like you are quite isolated from everybody else, so that's good to note. Yeah, what else I want to say? Yeah, pretty standard. The objective is standard, defeat everybody. Okay, we can talk about special areas a little bit actually, because there are quite a few. So, just for example, this area, I believe there was another one about sprites as well. So there's plenty kind of special areas. There's this. Actually, let's just go into the editor. It's gonna be easier to see what I'm trying to talk about. So there are some areas who are full of events. For example, this one, right? We got all sorts of events going, so it's like special built areas. Those are like 1,000 or 300. Okay, there's some quest areas as well. We've got this hunted forest, so there's plenty kind of special areas going on, right? Which makes it kind of cool. I like that about this. There's all terrain types on this map, which also kind of adds some flavor to it, right? You can't just skip pathfinding. That's not necessarily a good thing. I suppose if you're going straight for the late game, you could, but you're just gonna have a slow early game, so I don't think that's awesome. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for your time. Play pink, or play green, or maybe blue, and hope I'll see you in the next one. I'll be grading it. Sorry, I'll just give it an S tier. This is an S tier map for me. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Ciao, ciao.